Genre, poetry, the camping trip. Essential question, what makes you laugh? Read 2 poems about funny situations. Genre, poetry, the camping trip. We roughed it at Old Piney Park, with tents and hot dogs after dark. I'd barely yawned and gone to sleep when I felt something creep, creep, creep. A slimy something crawled on me, across my toe, up to my knee. Ridiculous, hard to believe that creature slithered up my sleeve. It was not humorous or fun. I hollered, "Rattlesnake, let's run." We all jumped up and stomped around. Our tent collapsed flat on the ground. 10 flashlights clicked on to reveal that creepy crawly by my heel. I blushed bright red. Oops, I was wrong. Snake? No, a lizard. 1 inch long. Constance Andrea Kermes. Bubblegum. I bought a pack of bubblegum, as I do every week. Unwrapping 10 or 20 sticks, I popped them in my cheek. I started masticating. That's a fancy word for chew. The gum became a juicy gob. I took a breath and blew. I suddenly inflated, puffing up like a balloon. I was a giant bubble, big and round as a full moon. My father hit the ceiling. He was really in a stew. He hollered, "Stop, don't go," as out the door I flew. The neighbors' eyes were popping. They dropped everything to see. I was the entertainment of the day. Forget about TV. If you like bubblegum, beware. Chew just 1 stick a day, or you'll become a bubble too and float up, away. I saw my friends below me and let loose a mighty roar. Whoosh! All my air blew out, and I was just a kid once more. Diana Kent. Make connections. Which poem made you laugh? Talk about what funny thing happens in each of the poems. Which poem has the funniest events or characters? Narrative poem. Narrative poetry tells a story, can have any number of lines and stanzas. A stanza is a group of lines that form part of a poem, often has rhyme and rhythm. Find text evidence. I can tell that Bubblegum is a narrative poem. It tells a story. It also has stanzas. Each stanza has 4 lines. The 2nd and 4th lines rhyme. Bubblegum. I bought a pack of bubblegum, as I do every week. Unwrapping 10 or 20 sticks, I popped them in my cheek. I started masticating. That's a fancy word for chew. The gum became a juicy gob. I took a breath and blew. I suddenly inflated, puffing up like a balloon. I was a giant bubble, big and round as a full moon. My father hit the ceiling. He was really in a stew. He hollered, "Stop, don't go," as out the door I flew. This is a stanza. It is a group of lines. There are 4 stanzas on this page. Your turn. Reread the poem The Camping Trip. Explain why it is a narrative poem. Tell how many stanzas are in it. Point of view. Point of view in a poem is what the narrator thinks about an event, a thing, or a person. Look for details that show the narrator's point of view. Find text evidence. In The Camping Trip, I read that the narrator feels something creeping on him. He calls it slimy. He says it slithered. The details tell me he is either afraid of or dislikes small, creepy, crawly things. This is the narrator's point of view. Graphic organizer. Details. A slimy something crawled on me. Your turn. Reread The Camping Trip. Find more details about how the narrator feels about the creepy creature. Write them in the graphic organizer. Then write the narrator's point of view. Compare your point of view about the creature with the narrator's.